What's up, everybody? RevSauce9. So we're going to be reviewing AEW Rampage for 9/20/2024. Now, I got to get something off my chest today in this review. I find it very funny how you have a lot of wrestling channels out in the AEW community, a lot of big ones, that only watch Dynamite and they complain about everything else AEW is doing. They can't book. They can't do this. They can't do that. You got people that today were talking about Miro saying that he should walk back into WWE. AEW can't do anything right. Then you got people on X going, well, this person, that person, it's been Fumbleina, AEW, and WWE will treat these people better. And it's like, okay, do you not understand the storyline with Miro? Miro had a push for a while there in AEW, then got hurt. Then he came back and then got hurt again. Then they were going to put the strap back on him again, and he refused. Then he refused. Then he refused. Tony Khan went directly to him, sat him down in a room. If you read the storylines and you read the dirt sheets and you read all the timelines and everything, he refused. They brought in his ex-wife, and he refused. I do not understand where people are getting that, oh, he was mishandled or mistreated or missed this. No, Tony Khan bent over backwards for this man. And what did he do? Refused to work for AEW. Took Randy Orton money and refused. Come on, you guys got to do better within the AEW community, within the wrestling community personally, and start reading actual wrestling articles and actually do your research. If you actually did your research, you would realize that Miro's been a menace to society for AEW. And I think Tony Khan should stick it back to him and use him as an example of why you don't use AEW, why you just don't walk in and take money. You know what I mean? I find it disgusting that this man took money, Randy Orton money, and has done nothing except use AEW. Either Tony Khan should sue him, get his money back, or vice versa. I just wanted to get that one off my chest. Another thing I want to get off my chest is a lot of these AEW channels only watch one show per week. They don't follow the storylines. They don't follow the things. They don't understand what pay-per-views are happening or big shows. They don't read these articles. They don't understand things. And it's funny. It's so funny to see these channels moaning and groaning and ranting when they don't follow what AEW is doing. Real fans follow what AEW is doing. I've been following AEW for a very long time. That's why I get called a fanboy or a mark, because I follow pretty much everything that AEW does. I do the same for WWE because I like both companies. I like TNA. I've been following Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. I know I didn't cover Don Callis being their announcer, but I enjoy these products, and I will be interested in looking at all the news that goes into Maple Leaf Wrestling, TNA, NXT, all of it. You know what I mean? Because that's what I'm interested in when it comes to wrestling, and I follow the stuff. I follow the storylines between the products. Yes, has AEW been great? Hell no, as far as booking goes. But when you only watch one show, you're only getting one piece of the pie. You're not getting the whole thing. And to sit and rant about said product and say, this is pointless, that's pointless, when you don't watch the product is absolutely absurd to me. And the whole Miro thing, a lot of these wrestling channels today, I was just left facepalming because they don't know the storylines. They don't read articles. This man has rejected every creative offer that Tony Khan has offered him. And it's so sad. Same with Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks has done the same thing. And people want to say, oh, Tony Khan can't book him. Tony Khan can't do this. But Tony Khan did offer Ricky Starks stuff. And, you know, again, Jay White. This is another one that people have been talking about. Jay White's hurt. Jay White had a concussion or something like that, and he got hurt. He has been hurt. He's not been medically cleared. And you have big names going, oh, it's booking. It's the first thing they do is blame Tony Khan. This man's been injury prone. Jay White has been injury prone. And he said it himself. He has not been medically cleared. Same with Kenny Omega, is not been medically cleared. So let's just keep it a buck. You know what I mean? In this review. I think a lot of wrestling or AEW community channels and people that cover AEW need to do better. And honestly, it's really sad. That's why I get called an AEW fanboy. That's why I get called an AEW mark, because I sit down and I read all the news. I sit and I keep myself educated on the news for you guys. because I don't want to steer you guys in the wrong place. Again, I keep saying this to you guys that I watch the shows. I sit and I spend per week watching more wrestling than any other sport out there. And yes, I game stream, but I'm still watching the stuff. Anywho, let's get into talking about Rampage tonight for 9/20/2024. Good show. They kicked off with Mark Briscoe and Brian Keith and the whole learning tree and the conglomeration thing. And let me tell you, this match went on for 12 minutes. Mark Briscoe honestly should be over at Ring of Honor. They need to have their, I said it on last night's show, that or review, that Mark Briscoe, Athena need to be on the show. They need to start building up for their pay-per-views. So Mark Briscoe, literally with Brian Keith, man, tonight, man. Keith is good shit. I just don't like him in the learning tree as the bad apple. He's good stuff. Try to do Diamond Rocks or something like that. They hit a Death Valley driver on Briscoe. Missed a froggy blow. Keith hits the knee strike. Hits a tiger driver. And stuff like that. And it's like, this stuff was good. And then Briscoe celebrate. You got Briscoe changing into a Jay Driller into a pinfall. It was a good match. They went back and forth on finishers. That's how you open up a show. Does it have to be AAA 5-star wrestling for you to be happy? A lot of AEW people have to feel this way. It has to be 5 stars. Like, I was just happy to see more Mark Briscoe. And I'm happy to see Brian Keith being on TV. Again, can't say that enough. Then you had the learning tree coming in and beating up the conglomeration. It was great. I like the fact that Big Bill is looking like a prominent big man. I like that. Wheeler Yuta defeats the Butcher. This is the one thing. The Butcher and the Blade have been a thing on Rampage and Ring of Honor for a long time. And you don't even give Butcher a entrance at all. You just have him sit on the sidelines there. So Wheeler Yuta beats him pretty convincingly with like a modified Rings of Saturn, technically. And he gets the 1-2, the tap out finish. This match was kind of, Now, this is where a storyline was being built. Okay, you had MXM, right? Stolen Max Caster's best wrestler alive jacket, and they said they were going to bedazzle it. They're building storylines. Yes, is it the best storylines? No, but there's storylines being built. MXN Collective is kind of like Pretty Deadly, but AEW version. And I like Mace and Mansoor, and I think it's great. They brought these guys in, they paid them good money, and they're doing actual storylines. Last few weeks, MXM and the Acclaim have been in a story feud, but nobody watches it. Again, as I said before, you know, Tony Khan does book stuff. And yes, there's going to be 3 different Grand Slam versions. You're going to have Collision Grand Slam. You're going to have probably Rampage Grand Slam and probably live Dynamite every week, you know, Grand Slam. So there's that. Hikaru Shida versus Harley Cameron. It was 7 minutes and 4 seconds. What a match. These two, give me more. Shida and Harley Cameron is coming around, man. Like, seriously. Shida hits a kendo stick to use as a weapon, but Jamie Hayter came out, still being dressed in Disco Inferno stuff. She looks like she's a 70s mob wife, and she comes out and chases Saraya away, and then she hits a Falcon Arrow on Harley Cameron for the 1-2-3. Shida hits the knee strike for an ear fall. Shida went for a Falcon Arrow, missed. Saraya was distracting her while Cameron hits a blindside kick. Cameron's good stuff. Cameron was not a really good wrestler. She was in ROH for the longest, and then now has come up on Rampage and Collision and has built herself up. I see Harley Cameron down the line. I could see her being somewhat in the middle of, you know, maybe a Ring of Honor TV champion in the future of things. But Harley Cameron's good shit. Saraya and came out after the fact, said, hey, look, bitch, I'm sick of you. And look, I want to match with you. Do you accept Saraya rules at Grand Slam? Basically, it's going to be Rampage Grand Slam. She turned around and she said, I accept, in her 70s Disco Inferno get up, which I'm cool with. Jamie Hayter looks good. And by the way, for somebody in the IWC, YWC say, nobody's going to remember Jamie Hayter in 6 months. Jamie Hayter's got a story feud, and she's been feuding with Saraya. So we're not going to remember her. Come on now. And then you got to Diana Peraza cutting a devastating promo saying that her and Taya Valkyrie, and she said she's going to be painting and flipping the division upside down, and I'm going to make this division my bitch, as she was drinking wine and looking around with Taya Valkyrie saying they're going to rule this bitch. So that was pretty good. Beast Mortos and Roderick Strong. It looks like the Beast Mortos is being added into the Undisputed Kingdom. He had like the Undisputed Kingdom look, the gear, and they were calling him Frank. It was funny. They beat some jobbers, basically Joe Key and Marcus Mathers, both former Ring of Honor guys, I guess, from what Ikebani was saying. They had Ikebani here tonight, which was great. Perfect. That's who you should have calling the matches, and it kind of complimented Excalibur. I'm grateful they didn't have, and then they had Daddy Magic on there, and it was great. They three complement each other very well. So basically, we got Darby Allin versus Evo Uno and Mariah May and Lady Frost that has been announced for tomorrow night at Collision. We had a strong hit. One matters. Knee strike. Motos drops key and pops Samoan drop and gets the stereo pinfall. So there's that. Nick Wayne, Rockio Romero, and Leo Rush and Kip Sabian. Kip Sabian gets rolled out of the ring on this one, and Nick Wayne getting victories. Last couple weeks, Nick Wayne is being built up. So I'm assuming they're going to build up Nick Wayne for some type of title coming soon. They should. Nick Wayne's good shit. They signed him to a major deal. And, you know, with Christian Cage behind him and building and mentoring him, that's going to be good stuff. Leo Rush, nice to see. Leo Rush has been floundering between Collision, Ring of Honor. I could see Leo Rush being a pure champion down the line. But this show, honestly, I'm going to be real, was a solid B show. Like, it was like a solid B minus, C, B. Like, it was sitting in the middle of all those. I would honestly say 7.0. It wasn't that bad. Again, Wheeler Yuta, they're building a storyline to where, does he want to be there, not be there, be champion, not be champion? I feel that he's going to be with the Blackpool Combat Club. They kind of need him in a way. But again, Wheeler Yuta doing good stuff. Not complaining there. Again, I just wanted to get some stuff off my chest because today, I watched wrestling channels today moan and groan. And then one was promoting, they ranted online. It was like, no, you ranted because you don't watch the product. A lot of these channels just don't watch the product. They don't follow storylines. They don't go around and watch. They sit back and they watch one show and not understand what's going on for pay-per-views and stuff. And then they want to go on their show and blame Tony Khan all day long. But you don't watch the other shows. It's like, for instance, if they did a speed pay-per-view, WWE, and you don't know half of the people that are competing because you don't watch the stuff on X. I do. I watched Speed this week. Did I review it? No, because I was busy. Not every wrestling show I can review, and I sometimes will have time and sometimes I won't. Sometimes my house is quiet, sometimes it isn't. Sometimes I'll go talk about it within my wrestling streams, you know what I mean? Or my game streams, you know? So I wanted to get off my chest in this review how I feel about the IWC, YWC lately. And, be watching my videos. A lot of you don't watch my videos. And a lot of you sit back and dislike. Why? Because I'm truth? Or why? Because I'm not like your favorite commentator's commentator where I could sit back and bullshit you. It's cool if you want to be bullshit at it all day, but I'm not here to bullshit people. I'm here to make waves in this community. I'm here to get to the big leagues. I'm here to do what's right and what I feel is right. I'm not going to sit here and be clueless and dumb. And I'm not going to sit here and idly stand by. This is why I made my channel, why I brought wrestling back. Because I felt there was a void within the IWC, YWC. I felt there was a lot of people not reading and watching and listening. People just listening to these big channels and these narratives from like Jim Cornette, Eric Bischoff, JD from New York, Conan, and not really understanding like what's around them. They only listen to, they only see things through their perspectives, and they only read certain things that appeals to them, and they bring it down to you guys, and you guys simp and give money to these people. And I'm sorry, but Eric Bischoff's outdated, Vince Russo's outdated, Jim Cornette's outdated, and then you got JD from New York that's said that he had the rant of his life this week, and it turned around to be, no, it wasn't a rant of a lifetime. It was you just being stupid. Like, I'm getting tired of these dumb channels not watching all the products and then sitting back and then moaning and groaning next minute and not really being aware what's going on in the IWC, YWC. His co-host was kind of trying to tell him that Jay White was hurt, and he was like, oh, it's bad booking! Now you don't understand! It's bad booking! Tony Khan, it's his fault! Jay White's been hurt. My dude, do you read? Do you read? You don't read. That's why you've been cooked by every single big name out there. You don't read. And then the reason why you're not part of the media scrums, because you asked Tony Khan a stupid bullshit question. That's why. And you say stupid shit all the time. That's why. That ain't drama. That's just your track record. Why don't you do some research? If you actually did research about Miro, about Wardlow, and about half of these talents, you would understand these guys have been injury prone. Jay White, concussion. That's what happened. And he's not been medically cleared since. And with concussions nowadays, especially with Tyler Faloa in you want to take that shit serious. You know, again, like I said, I respect those channels, by the way. I give them all shit because a lot of times when they report, it's like they only watch one show. They're casual like, and then they want to complain about everything around them. Oh, this is happening, that's happening. And by the way, if you didn't pick up, Tony Khan did do an interview with Busted Open and said that they are really close to signing a deal. It's very bright, but he said that they're still weighing, because they have other stuff. They're working with Fox to make a deal happen for Shockwave and other stuff. So again, we will see. And guys, you know, I try to keep it raw and uncut with you guys all the time. So anyway, my name is RevSauce9. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'll see you in the live streams. Be watching my videos. You guys only watch like 20 seconds and then you like literally thumbs down my video. It's like, why? Watch the whole thing. Have a beverage. Get your favorite thing. I'm actually pretty entertaining. And I won't sit here and bullshit you like other channels. Anyway, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.